Hello, everybody. I am in a hotel room in Vegas, so please forgive my background, but let me get started. During the course of our lives, we draw conclusions for things based on what we already believe or what we already want to believe, and we find ways to reinforce our beliefs. This is called confirmation bias. If I believe that Ford is better than Chevy and I Google, is Ford better than Chevy? And guess what? The first thing that pops up validates my belief. But what if I Googled, is Chevy better than Ford? What happens? You guessed it. The result is irrefutable proof that Chevy is indeed better than Ford. Confirmation bias is a dangerous syndrome, not just in the battle of vehicle brands, but in politics, legislature, global warming, and so on. So I'd like to take a minute to talk a little bit about what confirmation bias is, how we can recognize it, and what to look for in our sources. So let me start by telling you about Sal Khan. Sal is an MIT graduate and the creator of the website Khan Academy, where they teach things like math, science, coding, etc. Sal has a great TED Talk where he explores teaching people through what he calls mastery. He poses the question that if we don't have a full understanding of a topic, then how can we be expected to understand a more advanced topic that's built off of the first one? For example, and this is according to Sal, student after student was saying that they'd grown up not liking math. It was getting difficult as they had to get into more advanced math topics. But Sal says that it's only hard because students haven't mastered those base functions that are needed to support the more advanced topics. Like if a student gets a 75% on a test, that's 25% that they don't fully understand. But we, as a society, say 75%, that's a C, that's passing. Let's move on to the next topic. However, as that 75% trends through life and the more advanced topics rely on fundamentals from the first 25%, then of course it's going to get harder. You need to know how to do division in order to learn how to divide fractions. So Sal says that we should review the entire process of learning and apply that concept to fully mastering base material before moving on. In order to master more complicated concepts, we have to have a full understanding of basic concepts. So Sal says, and this will continue for months and years, all the way until at some point I might be in an algebra or trigonometry class and I hit a wall. And it's not because algebra is fundamentally difficult or because the student isn't bright. It's because I'm seeing an equation that they're dealing with exponents, and that 30% is what I didn't know is now showing up. How is that any different from confirmation bias? When we discuss a topic, why would we not want to have a full understanding of all sides to ensure that we're speaking from a fully informed place? Of course, everyone is entitled to their opinion, and I would challenge everyone, however, to base that opinion on all of the facts. So ask yourself, what defines a reputable source? What is the source of my information? And sorry, does the source of that information match the definition of a reputable source? Am I getting my information from a peer-reviewed journal, or is it a dude that lives in his mom's basement and he's just giving his opinion? If it's someone on YouTube just making claims, what's substantiating those claims? Take a look at this great Venn diagram and ask yourself, what in the yellow parts am I ignoring that perhaps I should pay attention to? I'm going to share my screen here. Right. So this is a little Venn diagram, cool little diagram we learned about in grade school. And it talks about confirmation bias, and it's a really simple way to understand it. Evidence on the left is evidence that we ignore. Evidence on the right is what we believe, and we kind of find the stuff that overlaps that just really cements our beliefs. That is a very high level of what confirmation bias is. Now, I can't possibly explain the full depth of confirmation bias in a 3 to 5 minute speech, but I'd love for anybody listening to watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix and Q Into the Storm on HBO. Both are award-winning and award-nominated documentaries that shed a ton of light on confirmation bias and its dangers. If we go into this discussion that can change the world, yet refuse to see every angle, we'll struggle as a people and as a culture. So today I reviewed an example of confirmation bias and how it behooves us to gain a base understanding of our subjects, similar to what Sal Khan describes as about learning, as well as asked everyone to really look into their sources of information. With this knowledge, I'm hoping that before we go into a discussion about something that we're passionate about or plan to die on that hill, that we can commit to understanding all sides of a topic. Thank you.